Right, next up, he's worked with the likes of the Rolling Stones and Ed Sheeran and won 2 Brit Awards. Now, James Bay is back with some new music.
So come on, let it go. Just let it be. Why don't you be you? And now be me. Hold back the river, let me look in your eyes. Hold back the river so wide. And stop for a minute and be by your side. Hold back the river, hold back. I wanna be your touch, sweet and so tough. You're blowing up my mind. What would it feel like if you tore me apart? Come on, chew on my heart. Come on, chew on my heart.
Lovely song, and James Bay is live with me now. James, good morning.
Good morning, nice to see you.
And you too, you're a rock star, so I've got to say thank you for getting up early.
I'll take it. No, it's fine. It's absolutely brilliant to be invited on and to see you.
Oh, that's very kind of you to say. Now, your new single, Chew on My Heart, is out now. Now, for you, this is quite a departure because it's a love song all about somebody very close to you.
Yeah, and I suppose, so I've been in my relationship with my girlfriend for 13 years. And it's a very private part of my life, really. And I sort of typically in the past have kept things quite private in that world. But it's been all this time, and it's such an important thing to me and such a foundation in my life, my existence. And I sort of thought I need to pay like tribute to it at the very least, kind of recognise it and show gratitude. And so it sort of revealed itself in a song. I almost didn't realise I was writing about it at the time, but here it is, and it kind of reflects a lot of the music on this next album as well.
Now, interestingly, I would say it's some of the most upbeat music you've done.
Sure.
Do you think that genuinely is because where it's coming from a really happy place for you?
Yeah. Basically, yes. In a word, yes. And the reality is I sort of didn't let that through before. And one way or another, it's just kind of found its way through because I didn't sort of feel fully kind of conscious to like knowing I was writing about that. When I was writing, I was just sort of writing what felt emotional, what felt moving, because that's kind of the main thing I'm going for all the time when I'm writing. And yeah, I listened back after I'd written a lot of these songs, definitely Chill on My Heart, and I went, oh, wow, this is completely about me and my girlfriend and all our time together.
Now, can I say her name? Are you happy for
Lucy,
me?
yeah.
So, Lucy, are you kidding me, Lucy? This song is literally all about you. She must be over the moon. She's been like 13 years and now he writes a song for me.
She's my absolute kind of greatest critic, and she will always tell me the truth, which is really the most important thing. And it was just it was a wonderful moment when I wrote this song and she heard a sort of earlier demo of it. And I remember she was in the kitchen, just headphones on, having a moment with the song. Me in the other room, just hoping it was any good. And she was bopping around and loving it. And it was such a wonderful moment, yeah.
But you say she's one of the people that made you actually get into music and take music really seriously as a career.
Yeah, I had been, since I picked up a guitar when I was 11 years old and had sort of dreamt about, maybe being on a stage one day, and sort of had all these heroes, whether it was kind of the Rolling Stones or Kings of Leon or, all sorts of different artists and guitar players and singer-songwriters. And once I met Lucy and sort of into our relationship, we might be sort of sat on the sofa on a Wednesday night, and we'd see some music on the TV, and I'd say, yeah, that's going to be me one day, yeah. Like, sat on the sofa. Yeah. And she'd say, well, and she was completely right. She'd say, well, there's an open mic night going on down at the pub round the corner, and there's a bar down the street that do like an open mic night on a Thursday night. Shouldn't you be out there doing that if you're going to ever get anywhere near a big stage like the one we're looking at on TV? And I thought, you're absolutely right. So she really kind of gave me the drive, that extra bit that you absolutely need to get out there and try and prove yourself.
Oh, we all love Lucy. She's a keeper. I mean, I know you've been together 13 years. She's definitely a keeper, definitely. Is she watching this right now?
I don't think she is. She's not watching it right now. She sort of stays away.
OK, well, tell her to put it on the ITV Hub. All right, Lucy. Right, so you talked about sitting on the sofa on a Wednesday watching TV programmes that had stages. You've not been able to perform that much on stage, but last month, obviously recently, but last month you did do a fundraiser, didn't you?
Yeah, for the Save Our Venues, the whole Save Our Venues campaign. It was sort of earlier on in the campaign, I guess. And I went to, here it is, lovely, lovely picture of the lovely O'Meara down in London Bridge, which is a brilliant, smaller venue. And smaller venues have been suffering massively. All venues have been suffering for not, having anybody in them. But smaller venues have been sort of dropping away. And I wanted to raise awareness for how important these places are as communities for artists, either in the early stages of their career or just when beautiful, intimate shows are going on. So I played in an empty O'Meara. There's supposed to be 300 people in there, and everybody was able to stream it, stream the gig and watch from home. And it was completely bizarre, in truth. And it was really there was a sense of kind of connection because I knew people were watching, but like they had to watch a room that they'd rather be in. They had to watch an empty room, and it was all just we raised just over £4,000 on the night, and then people could carry on donating. Because it's obviously, to me and all musicians and all fans of live music, it's such an important cause.
Absolutely. And you and your guitar, it's an image that we're all very familiar with. There's a wonderful story I read about you and the guitar that Bradley Cooper had in the film A Star Is Born, but you now own that guitar, is that correct?
Yeah, I was, there it is, yeah. So there's two of this guitar. There's only two, apparently. Gibson Guitars, a brilliant guitar brand, historic. And I have a lovely relationship with them. And few years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, I was in LA, I was writing, and they lent me this guitar a couple of times. I fell in love with it, and I said, "Hey, Gibson, this is beautiful. Can you tell me something about it? Can I buy it?" was my main question. And they had to do a bit of research and found out that they'd been commissioned to build these guitars, but they didn't know why. It was just for some film company, they said. This film wasn't out at all at the time. So they found out the film company wanted the other one. They could sell me this one, so they let me have it, which is very kind. And then I stayed in touch with them about it, and they only found out a couple years later that the production company were making a Bradley Cooper film, and it was the Star Is Born movie, and these guitars were used in the film. So suddenly I now have one.
Really cool. Now, very quickly, two more things I want to talk about very quickly. You've toured with Taylor Swift, you've toured with the Rolling Stones, you've toured with Ed Sheeran. I think I'm the only person in this country that hasn't toured with Ed Sheeran. I mean, everyone we have on this show seems to have toured with Ed Sheeran, apart from me. Was he good fun?
Oh, Ed's the greatest bloke in the world, I have to say. Obviously, the heights that he's reached, they go down to all sorts of hard work, and it's always a great lesson for all the rest of us, I suppose, as we watch him kind of rise, as we've watched him rise. But surely one of the key ingredients must be he's the nicest guy. Ed's very friendly. He's very accommodating. I mean, that must be one of the reasons why so many people have, been lucky enough to go and open up for him on tour, because he's fully tapped into all music, everything new, everything that's going on, and he's very keen to kind of bring people on board. I've known Ed for about 5 or 6 years. We've always kept in touch. He jumped up on stage with me at a show I did on a tour like 5 years ago. He just landed that morning from New York. He said, "Yeah, I'll just come from the airport. Let's play tonight," which was extremely cool. So
what a nice man. The second thing I wanted to say was, in advance, happy birthday for a couple of weeks' time. I turned the big 5-0. You're getting to the big 3-0.
I thought you were going to say you turned the big 3-0. That's what I thought was coming.
I'll tour with you whenever you want. That was the contract. Done. Whenever you want me, I'm there. Yeah, look, happy birthday. Have a fantastic time.
Thank you, Andy. Nice one.
James, thank you so much for coming. Don't forget, his new single, Chew on My Heart, is out now.